Just stand up and then I need you to stand like this. You pretend you are a donkey or a mule. And then you say, shake it off and step up. Shake it off and step up. Shake it off and step up. Say it like you mean it. Shake it off and step up. Now, listen to, you can sit down. Thank you very much. You can clap your hands. The reason why I'm starting with this is because I know many of you have had problems. You've tried everything and you have failed. Now there was a mule. You know what's a mule? A donkey, okay? This donkey had served its master for many years. The mule was very happy with the master. Every Sunday they would sit. The mule will graze around and eat grass and drink water while the master is sitting in his bedroom or in his lounge reading the newspaper. One day, while he was sitting in his lounge reading the Sunday Times, he had a sound. It was like a cry. It was like some animal was crying. But it was the mule. The mule had fallen into a well. What is a well in Swat? Skopo, Skoche. Skoche, labakupha khona, bese bakha emanti lephasi. The mule, while grazing, had fallen into the well, an old well, but it was deep. But now, this mule was then crying. It knew that I have served my master for many years. He is going to come to my rescue. He is going to help me because I am in trouble now. I've fallen into the well. The master stood up and went to investigate, and he found that his most loved mule had fallen into the well. But then he thought about this. He said, how am I going to help this mule to get up, to get out of this thing? Now think about it. If you are the master, how are you going to get it out of the well? Okay? But the mule down there, when it saw the master up there, it knew that help has now come. He's going to help me. He's good to me. I have served him for many years. But the master realized that there was nothing he could do for the mule. So what he did, he went and he called all the other people around, his neighbors, and he asked them all to bring a shovel. The best is to take this thing out of its misery and bury it alive. So they started shoveling every dirt they could get. When this mule was expecting help, the next thing that it had was a rock on its back. He says, goodness, what is going on? Now the people on top were busy shoveling, hurling grass, soil, sand, rocks. The mule was shocked to the core. It started crying. Okay, it started crying because it was painful, but also he was being buried alive when he knew that this man will help him. But then, while these rocks were falling on his back, he stopped crying. He stopped crying and listened. Now, when he stopped crying, an idea came to his mind that each time they throw the sand on my back, I must shake it off and step up. Now every time they shoveled, they threw the sand and the soil, he couldn't wait anymore. He could not feel the pain because all of a sudden the pain was becoming a solution to his problem. So he couldn't wait for the soil to come. When those guys up there thought they were burying him, they were actually bringing him a solution. So he started singing a song. Shake it off and step up. Shake it off and step up. And each time the soul hit the bag, he would shake it off. It would come to the ground and he would step on it. Every time the sand came, he would shake it off. It would fall to the ground and he would step on it. Every time he would shake it off, step on it. Before they knew it, he was out, bleeding, sweating. But he had used the problem to get out of the problem. Now, I'm saying to you, you have learned about all these things here. Everything looks good. When they tell you there's funding, you can do this, you can do that. But when it comes to the reality, you're going to meet up some problems. You're going to meet up with some problems. Business is not pub and place. That is why I'll be talking about, is it possible for a black man to be wealthy and not be corrupt in this country, in South Africa? Our sister here, but before I even talk about my sister here, now, I have been involved in a lot of businesses, and where we were successful, it was through our staff. We talk to our staff and we teach them how to do business. Now, in most cases, most of you here, when I say to you, like Mr. Kotze, it's not Mr. Kotze, it's Mr. Kotze, am I right? He introduced a business here. Many of you will tell you, it's difficult. It's not easy. It's difficult. I will not be able to do it. But if I said to you today, I have a son, a 2-year-old son. Every time I come back from work, I know that my son will be standing by the window waiting for me to come home. When I drive up the driveway and I look up and I know I will see him at the corner there, he's waiting for me. When I get inside, it runs to me and I hug him and kiss him, because I always look for the time when I get home to see him. He also looks forward to the time when I come back. But one day, I come home and I don't find him. I look up there, he is not there. And I start getting worried. And then I go inside the house and I said, where is my son? And my wife says, you will receive a call. Your son has been kidnapped. And at that moment, I receive a phone call. They say, we have got your son. If you want to see your son, we want you to do what you thought was very difficult for you to do. We want you to do it. In a month's time, we want you to sell this product. We want you to sell this product for your own good. If you don't sell them, we will deliver the head of your son in a platter. Think about this. If I am not able to do what will help me to sell, they will deliver my son the head on a plate. Now, then I go back and I ask you, how long will it take you to sell that thing? Are you still going to say it's difficult? I will say to them, no, don't give me a month. Give me 2 hours. 2 hours. I will sell these products. I will take these things, and the first person I meet, I will go down on my knees. I say, my son has been kidnapped. Please buy this thing. My life depends on it. I go to the next person, I go down on my knees. My life depends on it. Please buy this thing. I tell you, I will sell all these products within 30 minutes and I'll get my son back. Most of what we say we can't do because there is no problem. Because your son has not been kidnapped. You are not able to do what you say you can't do because there is no pressure, there is no rush, there is no stress. Anything that I want to sell, I sell. Because my son has been kidnapped. I've got a car to pay for. I've got a house to pay for. I've got services. These guys at Mombela, they charge us 3,500 just for services without having to pay for water. Water and lights, 5,000. I have a son that's been kidnapped. I will have to go out there and sell, whether I like it or not. I am saying to you, get off your comfort zone. Never say it's difficult. It is possible. It can be done as long as your son has been kidnapped. Put your hands together. Well, I have not come to do a motivational talk, Baba. But I thought after they got all this information, they should get this. It's reality. Akusi umlilo wemaphepha lengikhulumako. Ngikhuluma nge-reality. Now my sister here spoke about Donald Trump. Who's Donald Trump? You know Donald Trump? He says, I'm rich. I'm rich. He talks like this, I'm rich. You know, do you know how many times Donald Trump filed for bankruptcy? When they were busy with the election campaign, Hillary Clinton thought, I have got this guy. I'm going to tell the American public, how are you going to have an American president who has filed for bankruptcy more than 7 times? Donald Trump came up and said, Hillary Clinton is right. I have filed more than 7 times for bankruptcy. What is bankruptcy? Bankruptcy is when you earn 5 rands and unequality that 20 rand. Plain and simple, we are bankrupt. We are kaput. When you earn 5 rands, kota ngenyanga ufuna ubhadale 20 rand. We are bankrupt. Okay? Yeah. But again, Donald Trump, he says, I'm rich. I was able to use the laws of this country to my advantage. He would go and borrow money from Standard Bank and build the Trump Towers. And when the Trump Towers gets into trouble, he can't pay expenses, he quickly goes and then he applies for bankruptcy. We have got the same law in this country. I'm sure Emma companies, Emma Guptas, they have filed for business rescue. My companies, Emma Guptas, the mines and all of those, they have filed for business rescue. A business rescue. But pizza food, uma kumasi company, kungumuntu lonjengawe so we are born ukuthi unetikweleti letiningi awusakhona ukubhadala. There is what we call a good law, which we call debt review. A debt review is in a case Standard Bank ngeke but it's a good thing because what the banks are doing, the banks are sick and tired. Was keep 2 payments for the car, was keep 3 payments for the house, a house that you've paid for 10 years, was keep for 2 months, 3 months, they come and take it. Now, but there is a law that protects you. If you go to a debt counselor, the debt counselor, what he does, he will then draw your ITC report. Once he has drawn the ITC report, the ITC will tell him everything that you owe, and then he'll come back to you and say, how much can you afford? And then you say, well, my monthly installment is about 30 or 40,000. I can only, for now, afford 15,000. He then writes a letter to all your creditors. Listen, you must, according to section so and so of our country, this person cannot afford to pay. He can only pay so much. If you don't accept it, let's meet in court. So he takes your file, he goes to court, and the court will make that an order of court that you will pay half or whatever. No one can take anything from you at that time, and no one can list you, they can blacklist you. You are as safe as a baby. No one can repossess, no one can list you. Ni wrong, my assistant at bank. So, the only downside, which while you are inside a debt review, you cannot borrow. So, you wait until bonus is right, and then when it's right, you have a chance, get me out of debt review quickly, you go to the bank. The bank will check a credit bureau, your name is clean. They'll check your payment profile, your name is clean. It's school then 20 rand, 5 rand. So every month it shows good about padan. If I zero. Check your payment profile, yako 0 bongo. Don't be a patala. Aga always. Bakunika square it bakijim. This is one of the companies that I own. This is one of the companies that I own because what we have seen is that people, the economy pulls the carpet right under your feet. You have bought a car now, you have bought a house, you have put your kids in the right school, everything, and all of a sudden, things change. My part is also my twins. What happens to your expenses? So, okay, this is one. So, I've got the forms there. You don't pay a cent for it. You just say, okay, check this thing for me. Donald Trump is so proud because he filed for debt review and he says he's rich today. Yeah. So, otherwise, a choice. Nale company basi choice funerals. The choice funerals la 15 Bell Street. There is no business that I've not done. At Riverside Mall, I used to own a hot rods. I don't know if a Blue Junction, a Jeep shop. All the shops that were at Riverside, they used to belong to me. But there came a time where I thought anything that requires me to wake up. Okay, according to Robert Kawasaki, you touched on him. There are 4 types of people that make the economy to go round. One is an employee. Second is a self-employed. Third is a business owner. Fourth is an investor. Employee is someone that must wake up every day, whether he likes it or he doesn't like it. He must wake up and go to work. They tell him at what time he must drink tea. They tell him at what time he must get sick. They tell him at what time he must go home. Okay. If he does not wake up, there is no salary. A self-employed are these educated people who owns a surgery, a doctor, who owns a law firm. For as long as he has not opened that door, the doctor, to treat people, there will be no income. So he's no different to the employee because he also has to wake up and go and make money. And the fourth person, the third person, that's me. I'm a business owner. I'm not a businessman. I'm a business owner. A business owner is somebody that owns a system to generate wealth. Who wakes up You see, I'm fat like this, a big tummy. You know why? Because I only wake up at 12. 12 o'clock. When you guys are there running the stadium, I'm asleep. You must not call me in the morning, bro. Because I do not have to wake up to go and make money. No, the system must wake up and make money. Okay? I own a system to generate wealth. One of my businesses, no, one of my funeral business. When in your head, we are thinking, so we are sugar because that is the biggest problem with us. When we want to open businesses, we look at the next person. It's, when the loga is doing well, let me do it. We are Kijima, Ufuna undertaker now. Can't mean I'm not in that business. What are my core business? Eh? So, me now join a police scheme. I take those forms and cook a person because I want you. I don't want you to die, but I want you to pay. If you die, who's going to pay? So I'll be walking in the mall like this in Tibana now. I'm watching every month. That is a business owner, someone that owns a system to generate wealth. The fourth one is an investor. An investor, he does not wake up. Money wakes up. Money works for him. He says, money, go to the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, go to the New York Stock Exchange, go to the Australian Stock Exchange and check what is happening there for me and bring me money. Go and buy some cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin or whatever, and make money. It doesn't have to wake up. Now, you've got Checkers, you've got KFC. Have you ever seen the owners here? They have a system. Mess up with this system, he will fire you. Thank you very much.
Ngicela uyivale kahle baba ushaya kahle boma-save boma-keep boma-what was live on Facebook ihlala ikhona lapho abantu bakhona ukusivakashela ishaye kahle ishayeni kahle amadoda angifuni iphume lento ngifuna ihlale ikhona bakithi